Hello Culers, it's Pablo here and welcome back to Barca Universal. And you guys are probably thinking, well, what is this? It's actually a facecam video on the channel and we thought, let's mix up, let's try something different. And with the international break now, I thought, let's get some new videos out. It's no Barca games now until April the 5th actually, when we've got a home game against Valladolid. But right now I thought we've got a few topics to discuss. And over the next couple of weeks I thought, let's crack down on some of them. So today we're going to be starting with Ronald Koeman, and more specifically guys, should he continue next season? That is the big question I feel right now surrounding the Barcelona fan base. Over the next couple of days I'm also going to be discussing some other topics which you guys will see. I'm hoping you guys also really enjoy those videos, but today it's all about Ronald Koeman, his continuity. Should he stay? Should he go? We're going to be analysing it all here on the channel, so let's get started. Because in this video I'm going to go through a few different sections, a few different stages, and I do actually have quite a lot to say on Ronald Koeman right now at Barcelona, and I'm sure you guys as fans do also. So as always, let me know in the comments down below what you think about him. Because let's start by analysing Ronald Koeman right now and his situation at Barcelona. I think it's fair to say up until 2021 really, Koeman wasn't even that much of an appreciated character as the Barcelona coach. I personally have been quite behind him for a while. Right now he's a fan's favourite, the fans seem to adore Ronald Koeman right now, but not so long ago that was a little bit different. And if you guys have been watching the videos for a while here on Barca Universal, you would have known that I myself have been quite a big fan of Ronald Koeman. I think the work he's done has been really valuable for Barcelona. I'm going to take you back to August 2020 where Barcelona lost 8-2 to Bayern Munich, when we had Bartomeu as the president, Setien as the coach, another European disaster, Messi wanting to leaving, and we have been embarrassed in Europe yet again, and on the verges, let's say it guys, of becoming an AC Milan. And for me, this is where Ronald Koeman comes in, because he joins the club he loves, he leaves the Netherlands, he cuts his salary, and he picks up Barcelona at the worst possible point. We were in absolute agony as fans, and it was a bit of a disaster, let's put it plainly. And why he has so much respect for me and has done from the beginning is, he led the revolution. Ronald Koeman right now, I don't think he'll be here for the upcoming years of the revolution. Barcelona have got so much to go in the next decade or so, but Ronald Koeman actually said, you know what, I'm going to change this team, I'm going to change the dynamics, I'm going to actually, make changes to the side essentially. I'm going to bring new players in, I'm going to try new formations, which no one had done in the past years. It's that simple. And I think you come in and look at the team that Koeman picked up, which I think people often forget, that Barcelona were on the absolute floor. And for me, he picked up Barcelona, he made us feel like a club again, he's improved the form of the current players like Griezmann and Dembélé, Frankie de Jong also, who we wanted him to do so right at the start of his career at Barcelona. And then you look at the youth guys, probably the main thing about Ronald Koeman, that he's brought with him. He has just promoted so many players from the B team, Mingueza, Ilaix Moriba to name a few, but players like Araujo, how many minutes they get, how important they are on the team now. Even Ansu Fati at the start of the season. But of course the main one, guys, Pedri, what a revolution he's been, now regarded as one of the best young players in the whole world. That was Ronald Koeman's bet. So I honestly do think the work that Koeman has done has been really great. I think it is always important to look back as well to August when he first came in and just the situation the club was in. I'm sure a lot of you guys right now are behind Ronald Koeman, but football can change very quickly, as we'll be getting on to later. And well, Koeman not long ago, he wasn't very liked, but right now I think he's doing a good job. My first initial thoughts on Koeman, they've been like this for the whole season really, and I've been behind him. I've been impressed. I like the way he's leading the revolution, and I think he's doing a great job. But when analysing Koeman and deciding whether he has to stay or go next season, we do also have to look at some of the negatives and some of the things that you'd be saying, you know what, does he get that one right? Has he got that one wrong? Should he really be here next season to continue to lead this team with Joan Laporta as the president? Well, let's get into a few of those things now. Because interestingly enough, maybe the first thing that people hated about Ronald Koeman up until about 2021 was the actual lack of revolution. Right now, guys, Koeman is almost seen as this revolutionary for how many new players he's brought through. But it wasn't like that at the start of the season. We were seeing players like Sergi Roberto, Piqué, Lenglet, Alba, Busquets, Griezmann, Coutinho, etc, 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 and very little new young players. Yes, he brought a few through as substitutes, for example. He brought on Pedri in a lot of games, but in those first months, guys, and even in that PSG game, which is why people got so upset with him in the first leg, he used the same sorts of players. And you do have to ask the question that if Barcelona hadn't got so many injuries around the team, would certain players have been used? For me personally, a lot of them would have, but you've got to say it right back. Would Dest have been used so much if Roberto hadn't been injured? You look in the heart of the defence. If Piqué and Lenglet were completely fine, would Mingueza and Araujo even have many minutes at all? For me, they probably wouldn't. So you do have to use a little bit of hindsight in these sorts of things. I still think Koeman, more than anyone, like I said, betted on the youth, he trusts them, he put them in important matches, but you have got to bear that in the back of your mind when discussing his continuity for next season. I think another thing we need to analyse is Ronald Koeman's style, and Laporta and his board will have to make the decision as to whether they feel Koeman is the man to lead a Barcelona team forward. So Barcelona, often I think we are associated now with Pep's Barcelona, but what Ronald Koeman does for me is he more embodies a Dutch Barcelona, the sort of Barcelona we would have seen under Johan Cruyff. I do feel he has that attacking football, but it's not so Pep, it's not so passing, positional play, the importance of certain players in areas. I don't feel it's that similar. So Laporta will have to sit down with this board, with Alemany, and they will have to decide, do we go for someone like a Nagelsmann who will maybe do that sort of thing that Guardiola likes, or even a Spanish manager like Xavi Hernandez. They will have to decide whether Koeman's the man to lead a Barcelona-style team forward. Another thing I probably want to highlight are his substitutes. I know it's quite an odd one, but I still don't feel Koeman has mastered the substitutions game. I feel maybe the way he brings on players in the wrong times of matches. You also look at the personnel he brings on. I still don't think that he's really got that one cracked down. I think Martin Braithwaite is used above the likes of Riqui Puig, Trincao a lot and a lot. And I think you also look at the formations we end games with sometimes. If we are 2-1 down, for example, we'll often end with one midfielder, 3 at the back, and just a load of players up front, and that really does create a bit of chaos in the team. I still feel the substitutions can improve, and that would be something that I'd be writing down on the list. And finally, guys, something certainly relevant for you fans, the treatment of players such as Riqui Puig. After Koeman has used so many youngsters this season, and that for me is why I've really exempt Koeman from any blame with the Riqui Puig situation, because he has used so many other young players, like Pedri, who is in Ricky's position, ultimately. But Riqui Puig just hasn't really been used, and he's gone from one of Barcelona's brightest talents to right at the bottom of the list, and even players like Alex Moriba now, they are used ahead of him. So I think similarly to the style one, if we are looking forward, guys, to the future of Barcelona in terms of do we want to be playing like a Pep team, and if we're not using certain players like Riqui Puig, is that a bit worrying? The board will have to decide that. But I think that is something that you fans will certainly be noting down under Koeman and saying, you know what, he could improve on that. But for me, as I mentioned earlier, these negatives are certainly outweighed by the positives. I'm talking about small things here, like the substitutes and the style. I still think Koeman plays good enough football. I think it's some of the best football, in fact, we've played in the last 3-4 years. Let's set it straight, to be honest. The 6-1 against Real Sociedad, just to name one game, that was just our last game that springs to mind. But we've played some good stuff this year. We play attacking football. We're very confident in attack. We carve out a lot of chances. I definitely feel our defence needs improvement, but I almost see that as more of a personnel thing rather than a tactical issue. And I think it is clear right now that, Koeman has trusted the youth. He's improving Barcelona. We were on the floor when he came in. The fans are right behind him right now. He's got a good relationship with Lionel Messi. And I see his position at the club very secure indeed. But I want to remind you guys that football changes so very quickly, and I think that is such an important point to pick out when you are discussing a manager's continuity almost in March, because everything can change from now until the end of the season. Because just like when we lost 2-0 to Sevilla in the first leg of the Copa del Rey semi-finals, just like when we lost 4-1 to PSG in the first leg of the Champions League, fans were calling for Koeman's head again, and that is what happens in football, guys. It's what happens all around the world, and it happened at Barcelona. The same fans now who adore and worship Koeman were the same ones there spamming replies against him in the comments of tweets and whatnot. So that is how football works. That's how quickly it can change, and I want to remind you guys that. And that is so relevant right now because we've got some big games coming up after the international break. And say we go into the Clásico and we lose the Clásico. Say we lose the Copa del Rey final to Athletic Club in extra time again. And then say we don't catch Atletico de Madrid at the top of La Liga and we don't win anything this season, guys. Where do you then stand on Koeman? I think that's the question that you have to ask yourselves as fans sometimes. For me, I've been behind him right from the start, even when we were losing games, because I saw him implementing the revolution that Barcelona so desperately needed after so many embarrassments, after the way the team was going, and I still feel this season has probably been one of our most valuable in the last 5 or 6 years. But you have got to ask yourself, guys, will Koeman actually remain if Barcelona win nothing this season? Because I think right now, there's a lot of optimism. People are thinking we can win the double here, we can do something special, but football can change very quickly, guys. And whilst I feel we're going to finish the season strong, I think we're on really hot form right now. I trust the team, I trust what Koeman is doing with it. They're all behind each other. But football can change quickly, guys. And those are hard games we're talking about here, and Barcelona could lose them, so that all of a sudden leaves the season in real jeopardy, and it certainly leaves Koeman's continuity in jeopardy too. And Laporta and Alemany will be like us, guys. They will have to wait and analyse how the season goes before deciding anything drastic. And of course, Laporta will have names on his list. He'll discuss, how the season ends. He'll discuss the use of players, what Koeman wants to do with signings and whatnot, before making his decision. So to conclude the video that you guys all clicked on, does Ronald Koeman deserve to stay as Barcelona coach next season? I think he does. I think I've said that for a while now. If you guys have been watching the videos, I think I've been right behind his revolution, what he's done with the team when we needed it most. And I think also, guys, Barcelona themselves, Laporta, they will also keep Ronald Koeman. I honestly do believe that. Of course, we'll have to wait and see how the season ends, the things Ronald Koeman wants to do with the team, for example, signings and sales. If Koeman wants to bring in Wijnaldum and sell Riqui Puig, that could cause a bit of, a stir in the boardroom, for example. Same with someone like Depay and Trincao. Those sorts of things can certainly cause issues too. So, of course, Laporta will have to analyse things like that. But I honestly do think that Koeman deserves it. And I honestly think that Laporta will keep him. Right now, it's easy to say that. And like I've said so many times, football can change so quickly. So, of course, Laporta will wait before making his decision. And he has got a big decision to make because there's coaches like Nagelsmann who will be on the market. Laporta will certainly have his eye on him, I feel, for the future of Barcelona. Same with Xavi. But I think right now the whole fan base and everyone in Barcelona is right behind Ronald Koeman as a coach. He's done a really impressive job so far this season. I've said that even in bad times. And also, more importantly, guys, the players are right behind Ronald Koeman. You look at some of the young players that have come through this season, they wouldn't be Barcelona players if it wasn't for the Dutchman, Pedri in particular, and you look at Mingueza as well, Araujo, Ilaix Moriba, just to name a few. And none more important, guys, than Lionel Messi. He absolutely loves Koeman. He's got a really good relationship with the Dutchman. And I think that is the big reason for me why Koeman will remain to ultimately wrap it up. I think Laporta, of course, his big thing is, I'm going to keep Messi at the club. I'm going to show him an offer that he can't resist. And I really don't think that Laporta will be able to sit down with Messi and say, you know what, I'm going to fire Koeman. Will you still stay? I think Messi likes continuity. He likes when the team is strong. He likes what Koeman has done with the side this season. And I think Koeman has the backing of the players, the fans, and probably the board. So that is where this video is going to come to an end. I hope you guys did enjoy it all, and I hope you guys stay tuned for more on Barca Universal. We've got some big things planned for the future, and I hope this was the first of many Facecam videos. Nice to get to know you guys too. But for now, of course, leave any of your thoughts in the comments down below. This is an interesting and hot topic right now at Barcelona, which I'm sure you guys have all got a lot to say on. But we will see you all very soon. So until then, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.